that the schools are draining our economy and they're not working, and they're endangering the lives of the children. Right? Remember the pandemic? I said to shut down the schools. Oh, I didn't say shoot down. I said to shut down the schools a month before the pandemic. This was 1 year into Obama's presidency. Obama says, we'll take our chances. Thousands of children died before they decided, oh, we better close the public schools after it's too late. The same analyst has his own homeschools his children. They become doctors. Why doesn't the government want you to know this? That we do better without the schools. Don't you want your children to be doctors? This lady wants to use your children as cattle. She wants to experiment on what's the best way to teach your children. When the answer is Mrs. Ray or Renee or whatever your screwed up life is, to try to push your agenda, right? It's a world agenda on us again. We need the government to teach our children. The top analyst says we need the parents to teach the children. Who's right? The guy who has always been right. The person who has always been correct. You go to an advisor who's been right consistently, or in this case, you go to the person, which advisor do you go to? The lady who seems to go along with the government agenda? She worked in the DC schools. What a mess. She has a mess. She doesn't have children, let alone graduates. This advisor analyst has children he homeschooled with the help of his wife, homeschooled children to be doctors. So you have one that homeschooled children that's promoting homeschooling, closing down the public schools, using that money to help the country. Instead of borrowing it from China, they put them in indoctrinating death centers, you know? Indoctrination of death, or waiting to be, you know, get some infection or something. The Philly schools, how the rampant affection of the STD explosion, that wouldn't have happened if they would have closed down the public schools and returned to the homeschool system. The school shooting would not have happened if they listened to me and shut down the schools and returned to the homeschool system. You're starting to see that all these lives would have been saved. All those people in the Philly school system wouldn't have the STDs. Some of them would have got it, but it wouldn't have been spread so easily. It was spread through the public school system. Starting to see the pattern? But why do we keep the schools in place? Well, that's a political group. Those are voters. That's a voter group. Those teachers are well-paid voters that will consistently vote their party. We're stuck in this. We're stuck in this until you fire them all. The only thing that's going to save this country is a revolution or an asteroid to hit the country and level it to the ground and start over. Because there's no way it's going to get better. This is only going to get worse. And actually, it's got to the point where these beggars, these teachers and these police want more and more money, and there's no more money to tax. You can't take any more money from the people because the people don't have any money. Okay, I'm getting away from it. But who do you want? Miss Renee, who says, let's keep the public schools open, and you see all the school shootings, you see the STD rise, you see when there's a pandemic, thousands, tens of thousands of children died. Oh, no, let's keep them open. Let's forget, and then let's blame God. Let's blame God. Let's not say, oh, did God send an analyst who says shut down the public schools, return the children to their parents? The parents are the best teachers. Oh, you don't want to hear that. But instead you want to hear, let's blame God. Why would God let this happen? I think God gave us an answer. God gave us parents. God gave us an analyst to say, send them home to their parents and close these indoctrination centers. These things you call the public schools, these death traps, close them down. Return, hey, and guess what? Then let the people keep their property taxes. Wouldn't that be nice? To stop taking that money from them and telling them what they need? Oh, that sounds too good to be true. And believe me, in this tyranny, you're not going to have anything good happen because they want you dead, like I said. Al Sharpton, and he's again saying, why God? Why did God let this happen? And he has a person on his show today about why God, right? I've been saying this for years. Why are they saying why God? They have answers. They have analysts that give them the warnings, that warned against that spill, the oil spill, that warned against that mining disaster, that warned against a pandemic. All these thousands of lives would be saved. It's not why did God let them die. Why did Obama ignore the warnings of the top national security advisor? That's the why.
Explain everything.
Because why God? Why God by Father Kevin O'Neill?
Good and bad. And faith is not what you can figure out. Faith is not what you can easily explain or calculate. Faith is believing when you can't explain it.
You hear that? But I can explain it. There's an agenda. Why blame God? Because let's blame God. Say, why would God let that happen? See? If you believe in God, do you believe God let that happen? Or do you believe God had analysts and advisors and some form of angels warning these people? You don't believe that? What do you believe? You mustn't believe in God, or you believe in a God who lets people die without any warnings? I'd really like to talk to some of you crazy people who voted for this Obama. This slimeball Obama. Can you at all put the picture together that they're blaming God, not blaming themselves, they're worshiping themselves, they're praying unto themselves, saying how gifted they are, how they walk with God. But it's God's fault. Inevitably it's God's fault. Nobody's saying, hey, wait, didn't you get a warning for that one and that disaster and that one? Didn't you receive a warning from some analyst? They did. But they don't want you to know that. They don't want to know. They don't want you to know that the top analyst says you should be able to defend yourselves. We should return to the Constitution. They don't want you to hear that. They want you to hear, we don't need the Constitution anymore. Isn't that what they're telling you? It's outdated. It's old. I mean, how outdated is the Constitution? And this advisor told them, out of the Constitution, the last thing to go is the right to bear arms. You can get rid of the Congress, the Senate, and the President first. See what I'm saying? If you want to decide to get rid of the Constitution, I'll jump in there with you, because we have technology. We don't need representatives like a president, senator, and congressman anymore. That's all outdated. We can all use the internet and computers and now even cell phones to vote. We can all vote individually and represent ourselves. When there's a time for a vote for a new law, we can all represent ourselves. But we're still going to need a gun to defend ourselves. Yes, we can represent ourselves, so we no longer need the Congress, we no longer need the Senate, and we no longer need a president. We can represent ourselves. Americans can now represent ourselves. The Constitution was written a long time ago. So you can't have it both ways, but these people who say we need them and we don't need the guns, get it? We need the guns, we don't need them. Get it? I hope you're starting to get some of this. I doubt it. And here's the politicians' way of looking at it. They always say no matter what the problem is, let's meet, let both sides come together and let's meet in the middle. You understand that? They're saying let's not listen to the best advisor and analyst who's always right. Let's not listen to that guy who's always right, or person, or persons that are always right. Let's not listen to them. Why would we listen to those gifted people, those God-gifted people who are always right? Don't you hate those guys and those women that are always right? Don't you hate that? Let's meet in the middle. Let's both of us come up with stupid ideas, we that are always wrong. The left and right, we're always wrong and we're always stupid. Let's meet in the middle with our stupid ideas, and that will be an answer. Two stupid sides meet in the middle, and let's bring our two stupid ideas together, and that's the answer. Listen to this idiot.
About infringing on First Amendment rights. I'm sitting going, put the mirror up, man. We're all going to have to meet in the middle here to save our children. Sitting going, put the mirror up, man. We're all going to have to meet in the middle here to save our children.
You know what could have saved the children is to listen to the advice of the top national security advisor. Wouldn't that have saved the children? We don't have to meet in the middle. We don't have to change anything. We have to start telling the truth. That's the only thing that has to happen. I suggest you call your congressman and senator and ask him to impeach Obama. Force him to tell the truth. Ask him, who's Christopher Paul Cameron? What did he tell you before it happened? And impeach this maniac idiot, Barack insane Obama, the worst president in the history. I cannot believe you people voted for him. You're insane. The Obama election showed that there's a very racist tone in our country. And it was very racist to vote for somebody because of the color of their skin. And most of the people voted for him because of the color of his skin. It was insanity. He could have killed, could have strangled old ladies and babies, and black people would have still voted for him. That's the kind of thing. And anywhere you go, wherever the majority of whatever variant of the human race there is, whatever variant is in one town, you'll find their politician is the same variant. Whether it's Hispanic, Whether it's a Caucasian, whether it's a Negro, you'll see a Negro leader where there's Negroes elected. So everybody seems to vote their race.